Hello, welcome back to Subbuteo Tabletop Football, where I'm doing something a little bit different today. Do appreciate it is not flicking Subbuteo figures around, but it is related to the sort of macro things to do with the Subbuteo room. Now, if you haven't watched some of the older videos, I have talked about the macro things you've got to do. Because it's all very well and good saying you can have a Subbuteo room and play Subbuteo or tabletop football, but you've got to create that space. So this, for those of you who don't know, used to be an automotive garage. I used to have a vehicle in here that I used to work on. It's obviously not in here anymore, and I decided when that vehicle was gone or elsewhere, I was going to turn it into a space for a Subbuteo room and to do quite a lot of bits and pieces to get it suitable for that. It's still quite cold in here in winter. Don't know if you can see my breath, but it's chilly in here today. And there's still the sort of problems that you get associated with rather tatty buildings like this. In there, I get a bit of damp ingress, which I've got to sort out in the summer. And also, I had to build a few things to make it a bit more sort of a habitable environment for Subbuteo stuff, because these little cardboard boxes do not like getting damp. And I've had a few problems with that, to be honest with you. Now, one of the things I'm doing today is I have blocked out an area where a lot of cool air came in. I've been meaning to do that for a while, managed to finish it off today. So when I got the heater on, not that it goes on very much these days because we can't bloody afford it, but when it dries out in here, I do want to get a dehumidifier in here as well. So when it dries out, that's created an enclosed space now, so we get a lot less cold, damp air coming in. I have got ventilation on the other side, so we do get some air coming in, but I was getting a lot of cold, dusty, dirty sort of air coming in. Always going to have to put the dust cover on the Subbuteo table, especially in winter, because you do find you come in here sometimes and everything just feels not wet, just a little bit damp. Now hopefully that should block out the ingress of that, so then I can concentrate on sort of drying it out in here. And one of the other things I was doing, because this stud wall never used to be here, so I put that in. I need to block this out, so that's what I've done. So I've just, at the minute, for quite a while, this has been hollow under there, so you can get your hands under it. Now, that's all well and good, but what you find is bits of detritus, dirt, dust, bugs, all sorts of bits and pieces tend to get in the top, and it drops down. You get a bit of sort of drips of water in, and these boxes, I'm not saying they're wet, but you can see where they've got a bit damp, and it sort of damages the boxes a bit. So I've got to block that up, and then block up I have blocked up the cavity entrance on the other side, and hopefully that should reduce that. Now, just before I switch the camera on, I did just hammer a block in there, which isn't secured, but it's such a tight, snug fit that it's just holding itself in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drive in some screws into there. I do appreciate this is turning into a carpentry show. These are quite decent 3-inch long screws, and I'll get a 4-inch one on that side. Maybe, I don't know if I've got another 4-inch one on that side, just to secure it in, and then that blocks that off. I could just leave it like that because it's snug in, but hey, any excuse to get the old hammer drill out. Battery falls out, that's why it's tied up with a cable. So let's stick that in. Now that is in there. Get that in. That is 2 blocks of wood, so it's about that thick. And it means that if I ever need to secure anything there, like any more shelving or anything, I can do that. I've got that option. So above there is hollow, so it's just the thickness of the chipboard, and below it's solid wood all the way through. And it's just useful that, apart from blocking things from falling through and having sort of, oh yeah, I should explain that. I've also got mice in here, and I've had mice. You can hear them, but I haven't seen them. But they're getting in somewhere, so that's why I also want to block up all these cavities. And the reason I know they're getting in, because you know these like little name cards and everything, I've come in here before now, and on this shelf, they're all chewed up. So mice have been getting in and eating them. And there was about like 4 or 5 of them all chewed up. One of them was Man United, so yeah, I wasn't really bothered. Right, let's get another screw in there. Right there, a bit lower. Get it, yeah. Back in, okay. There it is. That's going in, sir. Now, that is not coming out of there. I may drive one in the side as well, but I'll be honest here, I don't think I need much more than that. That's going to hold it in, and that means this little shelving unit now, solid, whereas this one, massive cavity with all sorts of bits and pieces coming through. All right? Right, so there you go. It's had nothing to do with Subbuteo at all. But eventually what's going to happen here is when I've blocked all these out, I'm going to paint this white, because the rest of the room's painted white, so that should brighten things up, and it should just make it look a bit cosy. And then I can put me teams in there, and they should stop getting all damaged like this poor one has. And I'll show you what I mean. It's not that water gets on it. Right, where's the camera? I'll bring it. Try not to fuzz the camera out. But I don't know if you can see, but you get like where it gets damp, you get sort of like delaminating, and that tends to happen a lot with the not so much the sort of shiny covered boxes, but you know, ones that are just like cardboard. And anyway, point is, hopefully these little bits and pieces will reduce that, and then that can be my little area for putting Subbuteo teams, also bits and pieces. Because I've got loads of stuff just knocking about, and I'll be honest with you, it's just getting damaged where it gets like a bit sort of musty and damp and whatnot. And I want to keep this nice and dry in here, dehumidify the room, and then that'll be a better environment for playing Subbuteo. All right. Anyway, that's just if you've never watched Subbuteo tabletop football before, do this sort of thing from time to time, and then end up talking about something that's a little bit random. Anyway, until next time, out the gas.